Happy Friday. It is happy hour Friday. I'm at my mom's, so the background is kind of crazy. My hair is kind of crazy. We have been out antique hunting with my favorite, wonderful brother that I love so much, David, also known as Super Dave, and my sister-in-law, who I love so much, Kimmy, and my sweet, precious niece, Sarah Barra, and her sweet fiance. Now I can call him the fiance, Tyler, who we love to death. So we've had a great weekend here at Nana's. We're just trying to red pill the hell out of them. Bless their little hearts. I'm sure they're going to go home and tell everyone that their Aunt Lisa is crazy as hell, but we're having fun doing it. So if you have a crazy aunt, smash that like and send her to our channel so she can be part of the fam. But most of all, grab something red, grab a drink, tell a friend, and RED, remember everyone deployed. We'll be back with Westwood right after this. Welcome back, Westwood. How's it going?
I'm back. It's good. Oh man, happy hour Friday.
Happy hour Friday.
The longest running live show on YouTube. Consecutive weeks. I don't know. I'm just making it up.
Show.
Yeah, longest running consecutively crypto show. We're like the Litecoin of the YouTube shows for crypto, right? Keep running.
So. And we have the single best live chat community.
There's no doubt about that.
That's all.
There's no doubt about it.
Give amazing information. They consistently show up. They are just amazing. They show up at live events that we host in the community, whether it's in Oklahoma City, Arizona, out in the middle of a cornfield in Illinois, which we have one coming up. So make
10-4,
sure
good baby,
that you go to clintwestwood.net to get all the details of our next meetup coming on October 4th.
10-4.
10-4, good buddy.
Yeah.
There might be a trucker there or two, actually.
At least one. I don't know. Multiples. They're all driving in.
There's like 7 dogs or more at my mom's house today. And so I apologize. For the noise.
That's 1 of 7. That was 1 of 7, right? 1 of 7.
Who let the dogs out?
Wait, who let the dogs in?
More over under the table. Mute.
We got dogs playing crypto. We need the picture. You're muted. You're muted.
It's okay. There were big dogs wrestling upstairs, and then the little dogs started screaming, and then somebody knocked something over, and it was very exciting over here for a little while. It's funny.
Hey, it's not a party until something gets broken.
I know. It's always a party at Nana's house.
Yep.
We are having a wonderful
Or
party.
7 dogs show up.
Open the doors. Okay. Sarah, you don't have to be that quiet. It's okay. It's these people that watch our show are all my friends, and everybody's super laid back.
Oh yeah, we cool.
Nobody takes us that serious. We're not reporting like ABC, who just busted Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamala. What did I just read?
I own a gun, and if somebody breaks into my house, they're gonna get shot.
I heard she said that.
Did I say that? I guess what'd she say afterwards? She said, "Well, my staff will take care of that afterwards." I shouldn't have said that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This is nuts.
Oh, CBS.
It shows you they're hypocrites.
Yeah, about something else. That CBS correspondent only one. So they went around to restaurants. Like, you remember where they used to go around, like breakfast places on the morning show? Um, and they could not find a single person that was supporting her. And then they also were tracking the phones of people at the Harris rallies.
Well, they probably handed them out to them before they put them on the bus to bring them.
Well, it's the same phones, and they are busing the same people.
There you go.
They're paying, I guess, to go to these rallies. And so it's the same people going to every rally in every state. So they may be busing them and then putting them up in hotels and then busing them to the next one.
Right out of central casting, like central casted audience.
Right out of central casting. It's the whole thing is such a movie. It's so crazy right now.
Totally a movie.
I also wanted to show you guys this. So there's a whole timeline or calendar of all this crazy stuff. Westwood, I sent you a bunch of messages on Twitter that were kind of lined up with this. Also coincides with the banks, and where is it? It was like the Basel III thing or Basel III thing.
Yeah. Gotta have qualified funds or assets in backing up stuff.
Tons of CEOs have quit lately. Again, like right when the Epstein thing quit, we saw all these CEOs quit.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing it again.
P. Diddy him.
The number, because the P. Diddy thing hit, all these CEOs are quitting. Well, now there's all these bank shutdowns. Look at these banks closing branches in 2024. 90 Bank of America, 73 U.S. banks, 62 Wells Fargo, 53 Chase, TD Bank 52, Wood Forest 31, PNC 37, Citizens Bank 29, KeyBank 16, Capital One, 5 Citibanks, other 79 banks. Okay, then I thought this was really interesting. Somebody posted in that thread, hey, look at the congressional calendar.
Oh,
government shutdown looks like they're already planning for it.
They're shut down already.
Their Basel III hits October 1st. They already know they're
out of there.
They're out of there. Honey, I know it's okay.
Wow. Y'all think you're safe in your home districts? I don't think so.
So is that
maybe. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for praying for my son. We have a bunch of treatments coming this next week. We're going to be inpatient on Thursday and Friday in the hospital for, I think, 4 to 6 hours each day for some treatments, and that hopefully will make him feel better for a little bit. But I appreciate those prayers. If you guys, everybody's going through a lot of stressful times and things are hard for everybody right now. If you're looking for some encouragement and prayer, please check out Rick Costa's channel. He every day has a live prayer channel, and that's something people can get some encouragement and support to go there.
I didn't even know that. He's been in here forever. He's got a
yes. No, I go in there all the time.
All right. I'm getting all right. Is that on YouTube? Where's that at?
On YouTube, you can. Okay. So if anybody that is in the chat, you can go on their profile and click their profile, and it takes you to their channel, and then from there you can follow their channel, and then you can see their content. You can follow. You can subscribe and click on notifications so that you can see when they're live. But he does like a live, and it's real interactive. He reads the chat, and he will pray for your family or any needs that are there. There's a really nice community there as well. So check that out, please.
There it is, Rick.
Yeah.
Channel. Go to channel and subscribe.
And he's part of the Litecoin fam as well. He's been in with Litecoin crew for a long time.
I had no idea. I mean, see, this is just it. I mean, how many people? I got to be a better community member here. Just subscribe to Rick's channel. Went to his YouTube channel, subscribe. So everybody do that whenever, and then go follow Rick, and let's get motivated. Let's hear some good information. Let's hear some good.
Well, and here's some good information. So the banks are closing. You're seeing all those actual closings, but then like Fiva Flay is saying, okay, his credit unions open, but it's full of ATMs and only 2 employees. That's the other thing you're
Right.
seeing is like some are left open, but there's really no one.
Well, they'll help you use the ATM basically, right? Because there's not
Yes.
a lot of in-person stuff. Oh, you don't know how to use the ATM, sir? Oh, okay. Here.
I'll walk you over here. And I had a banker tell me that. They were like, well, don't you have your card? And I was like, no, I just have an account here. I don't use this account much. Just please give me, I would like to make a withdrawal.
Yeah.
Do the thing for me. And they were like, well, I need to send you a code to your phone. So I need you to ping your phone to identify. And I was like, here is my ID. And they're like, well, I still need to ping your phone. Do you have the app? And I'm like, no, just here's my ID. That is
I'm
my
here, so I don't need the app. I'm here.
ID in front of you. And they're like, I have to get a manager. I'm sorry.
Nah,
I can't help you.
She's like,
It's so
they're like, let me
insane.
call the help desk. Hang on. Help desk.
Yeah. They're
IT,
like, hold on.
please
We
hold.
can't help you. Yes, and I
Have,
didn't.
have some Smarties and Tootsie Rolls while you wait.
Yes. Load up on sugar.
Oh yeah, good
Mhm.
stuff. Yummy.
Oh, London goes off Libro. Well, I don't know what Libro is. Do you know what that is? London sets
London
interest.
Interbank something. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm just talking smack.
September 30th, USA is on SOFR. Nowhere USA sets interest, maybe it means interest rates as well as Basel III. So more of that talking about the end of September, that transition to October 1st. Like that's kind of the
Fourth quarter. See, that's the thing. That's another thing. It's the fourth quarter. It's the last 3 months of the year. So a lot of things happen at the quarters. Books close and reopen. You know, things get
also
settled.
the end of the fiscal year.
For a lot of places, it is. A lot of governments. Yep.
Diddy placed on suicide watch. Just like,
Here we go.
what is that one? Oh God. Oh, that looks like Benadryl. Sorry. Everyone, all the dogs here, everybody's allergies are going crazy.
One way to put the dog to sleep.
Yeah, we do
That's
not
the
want
Benadryl. Shut up.
the Benadryl. Well, maybe we do want the dogs to get Benadryl. No. Oh. There's some crazy stuff happening.
Absolutely insane. Living in an insane world. But what do? We choose our own adventure, right, Lisa? You're the one who
An adventure.
does
Yeah.
that a lot. Choose your own adventure.
I saw, yeah, I love watching. That's another great channel. Please follow, like, and subscribe to Clint Westwood's YouTube channel. He does almost a daily show.
Probably like once a week now, but I'll get back in the groove. Things have been a little
there's
wonky.
seasons. Life goes in seasons and waves. But
I just looked real quick. I just looked. I have 977 videos and 978 subscribers. Do not make me make more videos than I have subscribers at this point.
That's pretty close.
I'm not going to make any more videos until I get 1,000. You know, so I'm pacing myself. You know, y'all got to subscribe, then I'll make more videos. Yes. I got to keep it equilibrium.
Yeah, Clint is the man. But and his website, if you go to clintwestwood.net, which you can see it right under his mug there, he has so much information, like whether it is like links to get everything from faucets where you get like free crypto learning things to different wallets to educational videos to information.
Just getting into crypto, it's a good place to start. It teaches you the basics.
Yeah.
For free.
For free. Yeah. So check that out.
Yep, good stuff.
Yeah, we're really excited about all of that.
So. Jake's Custom Parts, he was talking about, hey, I want to learn how to make a paper wallet, and I've got a couple of videos out there on that. And that one's by Ken Bozak, one's by Crypto Stash. I mean, they're still very relevant, but they've been out for years. And so why reinvent the wheel if somebody else has done it? So I have those videos out there. We've got a link to Frog Wallets. Frog Wallets, been a long time. Paper wallets, that's a good paper wallet to put it on if you're going to save it, give it to your kids, grandkids. You can put a little bit of crypto on there to lock it up. And, I got links to all that stuff out there, and it's just benefits the community is really what it does. It's nothing that, not a paid sponsor here. I just put stuff out there, and if I don't like it, and if something doesn't go well, I'll take the link down. So if the link's up there right now, it's pretty legit, pretty vetted.
Well, there's a lot of stuff right now. Trump just paid for, he's the first president, or if you believe he's a former president, whatever you want to believe. But once a president, it's kind of like a Marine. Once a president, always a president. So he who just paid for dinner in Bitcoin, I believe it was Bitcoin. He paid in crypto.
That's what he said. That's what they said. Paid in the Bitcoin.
Paid in Bitcoin.
Wouldn't have had so many issues if he'd used Litecoin. It would have been a lot quicker and bang, bang, but they're waiting. They're like, and they're kind of struggling a little bit. But we've all been there. We've all been there with wallets.
More time for a photo op.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all good. Take your time with the Bitcoin.
Take your time with the Bitcoin. You need more confirmations, more photos.
You have so many confirmations, more confirmations than you want to deal with. You can't handle the confirmations.
All the confirmations.
All the things. And many other things.
So much winning. All the winning. Yes. So that was pretty significant that he paid for a meal out in public right after he announced his world coin or whatever it was called on Monday.
I don't even know what it is. What's it called? It's like I don't even know.
Easter of some kind. I really didn't look into it, to be honest.
I didn't either because I'm tapped out and I can't buy it.
There's just so much hype. And I don't want to mislead people. Like, I love our community, and for me, it's all about like proof of work and peer-to-peer transactions and like just having assets in your own possession. And so like, yes, I see all the noise, watch all the nonsense, but like, let's all be smart about our transactions and let's do the safest things and not get caught up in the hype and the shiny things and all that. So like, okay, yes, we see this and that's great. And the news is talking about this, that, and the hype and the nonsense. And that's great that we're seeing that. But let's also have hard assets in our own possession. Yes. And then let's wait out the nonsense. Correct?
100%. Now is not the time to be messing around. You want to learn how to take control of those assets. You do not want to have them on an exchange. Yes, you have to go to the dirty exchanges. It's like you have to go to the dirty bank once in a while. I have a story about that. But if you go to the exchange to get your coins, your crypto, you want to take that off, put it in your own possession, learn how to have it in your own wallet, know how to write down a seed phrase, put it on a piece of paper, not digitally. Don't take a picture of it. You don't want anything out there, to where anybody can hack it. Just write it down, lock it away. And if you ever lose your phone, you ever lose your wallet, it's fine. Because I've walked people through this before and recovered funds that they did. I don't even know do you have your seed phrase? Yes. Okay, cool. We're good. If you've got that, or the private key, the old school long private key on a paper wallet, if you've got those things, you're good. So you want to have that and learn how to do that. And as long as you protect that like it's a suitcase full of cash and you got it somewhere hidden, you're okay. You're going to be able to use it. It's just with the cash, it might not be worth as much once you open it and dig it up out of the ground. The crypto is probably going to be worth a lot more. Just saying. But learn how to do that. Like I said, Lisa said, there are resources on my website to kind of get you acclimated to that. And if you don't know, we've got a wealth of information coming on October 4th at the meetup. Free meetup on my website. Click on clintwestwood.net, the big link at the top. It's got all the details. We're going to do a live happy hour. It's 2 weeks, Lisa, from today. 2 weeks. We're going to be live in the bar, back on the road, side by side, girl, doing a live meetup. So you can learn from all the people. It's not just us. People that are going to be there are going to be so freaking, they'll help you more than I could ever help you. And so those discussions are very important. It grows the community. And I mean, it's worth the trip. I mean, it really is. If you can get there, you should get there. You really should. It's worth it.
Yeah,
People keep coming back. So, hey,
we
bring
have
it
a great
spouses.
time, and you'll meet so many like-minded people. It's really affirming, especially going through this crazy time.
Yeah.
And you
You're
really
not nuts. We're all
share
nuts.
like a lot of knowledge. Crypto experience from St. Jerome. There's another prime example of somebody who he brings books.
Subscribe to his channel. He puts out great videos.
He puts out great videos with great content. With knowledge. He has a lot of experience with selling gold and silver. He goes to coin shows, and he shares crypto at coin shows, which is really cool. And he'll talk to you about all kinds of things. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And he's a teacher, so it comes to him naturally.
Still teaching, retired and still teaching. Because in this society, when you've got a fiat-based system where they create money out of nothing, once you're retired, you're not retired. You got to keep working. I mean, so you got to get those assets that are going to hold value. And real quick, I wrote this down today, Lisa. I know, I'm just interrupting. So gold today, $2,600, $2,620, $2,260 is what it closed at. Why is it closing? Because of the weekend. Interesting. Crypto never closes. Silver, $31.20. Boom. Bix made a video today talking about that again. It's like, hey, when this breaks loose, look out. It's a 7-to-1 ratio coming out of the ground. Gold to silver. Yeah, pretty undervalued. But the main thing is I did go to the bank this week. Why did I go to the bank? Wanted to get some nickels. Went to the bank, bought some nickels, $100 box. And $100 paid a Benjamin. Actually, it was 5 Jacksons, for the $100 box of nickels. And when you walk out, I mean, it's heavy.
There were
Andrew Jackson on the 20. I got 5 of those.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Michael and his brothers.
No, not that. So anyway, I walked out with a big box of nickels, put them in the car, and my daughter's in the car with the dogs waiting with the air conditioning that I did fix or had somebody fix. So it's nice and cool in the car. I'm not a bad dad. So it was locked too. But I walked out and she's like, "Man, what is that?" And I said, "That's $100 worth of nickels." And so we had the discussion again, about the nickels. But right now, a nickel, any U.S. nickel, Jefferson nickel, if you got Indian and Buffalo nickels, I mean, even more because of the older, it's worth more numismatic value. I can't even speak. But anyway, if you go to the bank right now, she asked me when I got them, she's like, here, yeah, we have a $100 box of nickels, which is 2,000 nickels. And she put them on the table there, the desk, whatever it is, and slid them over. And she says, "You're not going to return these, are you?" She was still holding on to it. And I said, "No." It's just, oh, good, because we have to hand roll all these. And so my thinking is we've got people going in there buying quarters, dimes, searching through them, looking for silver. And maybe they'll get one silver dime out of a whole box, and they come back and return them. And now they got to re-roll them. And I said, no, I'm keeping these. And the reason why I'm keeping the nickels is because every other coin and mintage right now, it's got zinc in it. It doesn't have silver in it like we used to in 1964. But the nickel has 75% copper and 25% nickel, valuable metals in our society going forward and right now. Each one of those nickels, it's got 5 cents on the face. It's worth 5.5 cents of metal. So, I mean, I walked out of the bank and I'm 10% ahead. Give them $100, walk out with the nickels, they're worth $110 in metal.
Yeah, where are you?
You might think I'm nuts. You might think I'm nuts for doing that. But if it's 1964, 60 years ago, those 5 quarters, you could have went in and gotten quarters and said, "Oh, I want all these quarters because I know they're taking the silver out." And they took the silver out in 1965. But if you had gotten those, again, let's beat the dead horse. It was $1.25 minimum wage in 1964. $1.25. If you had held those 5 quarters from 1964 that had 90% silver in it, today, I did the math, today, the metal content of the silver, if you just held them, did nothing else, just stacked them and threw in a safe, threw them somewhere, put them in a jar, those 5 quarters are worth $28.20.
Wow.
5 quarters. And so you would have protected your energy and labor through time using silver.
Yeah. And silver's going up. So that's the other thing that I was thinking about. I was watching Marty, and I love Ed Reardon. He's like amazing remote
viewer.
viewer and all that. And Cliff High's data talked about being in those dollar days where silver was going to start climbing $1 a day, and we're possibly in those dollar days.
Absolutely, we're getting close.
Dollars, then it hit 31. I think we're now at 32.
Yeah, it was getting real close to it today, and I think it closed around 31.20, 31 little
31. Okay.
Yeah. It's over 31.
Okay. So we're getting really close to those like dollar days with silver. Gold hit over 26.
Yeah, $100 days in gold. You're going to have $5 days in silver. I think he said at some point it'll start out at $1. That's $5, and I mean it's got a lot of catch up to do.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to think about, like just being right there, and we're going into the end of September. Like if we have a government shutdown, and if people start seeing the banks really close, it could go so exponentially fast.
Absolutely. They'll clean it out. Like the silver will fly off the shelves of these coin dealers like, bottled water in a hurricane in Florida. I mean, that's what will happen. Look at that.
Coin dealers will close their doors.
Because they'll be like, whoa, we gotta shut our doors. We're not selling anymore.
Because
and they're
they
gonna
are
reprice it.
Yeah, they're educated on what the true value is of it. They won't sell it. They'll close their doors.
They won't do it.
That will be the unobtainium moment.
Yep. And then you're begging for it because, I didn't buy any, when it was $20 because it was just too cheap. It's just like, who wants to buy that? It's $20.
Yep.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You either got it or you don't got it.
Yeah. At that point, you have it in your possession or you don't, and you missed out.
And then you name your price for it. And when I say price, I'm not talking cash. I'm talking, hey, you got a car for sale? I'll give you a few coins for it,
Right.
Or hey, I mean, whatever it is.
It's what you have in your possession. It's like
absolutely
musical chairs. It is, and the music will stop. And I think the music's going to stop October 1st, or maybe it's September 31st or whatever, the night of.
30th,
I don't know. 30th. And it's going to be like, what do you have in your possession? And
what is the calendar? Let me look at that.
Yeah. When the music stops, what do you have in your possession? And part of that is your community and your knowledge, your education, your knowledge,
your connections, your knowledge, your connections to people with knowledge, the network that you have. I mean, that's how valuable you are, is really that network that you have and that knowledge that you have personally, and your connection to, the hotline to God, that kind of thing I talk about. But it's not only because you don't need an intermediary to get to God. I'm just saying, really. I mean, so you're a parent, real quick. You're a parent, and you're like, well, I can't really talk to you. I need you to work through my agent to make an appointment to come see me. I mean, Lisa, really, does that happen? No. You're just like, come on in. Hey, here, let's make something. Come back, come sit down with me. It's like you're hanging out with your mom. Mom says, well, you need this. I'll try and fit you in, next Tuesday. No, that's not how it works. So don't think that you need somebody to like book an appointment to talk to God and talk to, your creator. I'm just saying, reach out, and you got the hotline built in.
I'm going to get Nana to join us for a little bit.
Speaking of connections.
Speaking of angelic.
There it is. This is the godmother.
Look, there she is.
Mm-hmm. And she's even got like the light, the halo.
I told her.
Look at this. She's coming out of the light. You can't make this up. Look at this. We got any artists out there to paint this?
This is my angel, my mother. Yes.
Yeah.
Who enlightened us to everything.
So sharing the light.
The Sylvan Queen coming out of the light, in the forest and all the, right?
If you ever wanted to ask Nana a question, put it in all caps in the chat, in the live chat. And I will, because then I can start or send a super chat. Oh. And that will make it pop up.
There you go.
Put it on the.
Get somebody's attention.
Yeah, it'll get my attention, and then I can put it in there to ask Nana a question. So we'll do an interview with Nana.
Oh, good Lord.
Lord.
She
There's
hasn't
only
started.
4 ingredients in homemade bread. Do you want to know the recipe? I'm going to tell you the recipe. Reach
Get her
out
a
to me.
drink. It's happy hour. I don't know.
I pretty much gave up drinking.
Ask Nana. She'll teach you.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So why have you given up drinking,
Because I'm
Hannah?
old as dirt and figured just
It makes you feel bad.
it just I get tired.
You're more tired. You're already tired.
Well, I wake up. I think it's my blood sugar is affected by it.
Okay.
Well, you got to trust yourself. I mean, if it doesn't feel good and doesn't feel right and it affects you, you're like,
Well, when the kids come
But
out,
when we
I'll
come
have a beer
over,
or
she's
two, or,
like, "Ooh, it does feel good. Yes, I'll have
"Woo,
it."
one more time.
Yes, she will.
Woo. Where's it at, Lisa? Woo, I feel good. Woo.
Find it.
Well, and the other thing is when I'm alone with Kaya, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be the moment.
Yeah, maybe it's not fun to drink alone. To me, I don't
No.
like to drink.
Yeah, I mean, I drink alone. Let's get a copyright infringement. I drink alone.
Yeah,
There's nobody else.
That's
Drink.
definitely.
No, we're not doing that.
I can find it.
No, I get it. I'm like kind of the same way. I mean, I'm to the point where, I mean, trust me. I mean, my liver's probably been tortured and it looks like the size of a catcher's mitt right now. But it is. I mean, I only drink when I'm out here in the bar, and usually that's Thursday and Friday, and that's it. And sometimes on
Really?
Thursdays I don't. Last night I did, but on Fridays I do. I unwind and then I punish myself, and then I go until next Thursday, and I don't have any cigars, no drinks or anything. And because I mean, as you get older, it does wear you down. I remember being 20 years old, and I'm like, yeah, get up and work. Stay out all night, get up, boom, you're ready to go. Not anymore.
The same. Yeah.
Like, whew. These summits and meetups, man, I gotta pick and choose.
Wait, girl, hold on.
Oh.
This. Okay, so then I can share it. This is what he's wanting me to do. This.
Yeah, we gotta play this.
Find this little girl that.
Woo!
My little. Woo! This is by Lisa. That's my happy hour, Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's happy Lisa. Happy hour Lisa.
Yeah. So he thinks that's funny.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty funny.
It is funny. It's
Mhm.
hilarious.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah. No, Nana, what's going on? I mean, you got chickens going on. What's the latest project? You used to do the bees. I don't know if you do that anymore. You have the
It
chickens.
is like we have taken her over.
I'm obsessed now.
No, so it used to be. So mom was helping my sister through her loss and helping take care of her kids. My sister and her kids moved in here as they were transitioning, and then my sister built a house, and she's like becoming a nurse now, reinventing herself after being a teacher for forever, 20 years or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
15. I don't know. How long was she a teacher?
14, but that may have just been at the high school.
A long time.
Yeah.
And now she's becoming a nurse, an RN, and reinventing herself. And her kids are like kind of empty nesting, kind of recreating themselves. And they built a house and moved out. And then so all that happened to Phil. I'm telling this story instead of you. I'm so sorry.
No, I like to hear it.
I apologize.
It's a more objective view, probably.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
that happened right after my dad died. So it kind of was a good thing because but maybe it was a bad thing because mom didn't get to, it kind of cushioned the loss of my dad because my mom was caregiver for my dad. So then my mom became a caregiver, but it was like chaos with my sister and all her kids here and whatever, but it kind of didn't allow my mom to be alone kind of good because then it was like, oh, well, you have to be around people and you're forced to stay back in life,
So running the Cody to class.
So she had to be grandma. You don't get to check out on life.
Yeah.
You have to be grandma.
No.
And so it was really a blessing, I think, to keep her active and engaged in life. And she was still then a caregiver. So she was caregiving for her daughter and her grandkids who had a tragic loss when my brother-in-law passed. And then they left. just down the road, but they built their own house and they're doing okay and they're transitioning. And so there's always this like kind of passing the baton of life to in the tribe of this. And then she started getting back in bed, and then her pain
Well, I was
started.
just reading it.
No, she was getting depressed, and then I was getting worried about her. And so then we were trying to come back here more because like she wasn't answering me in the morning and she was not getting out of bed till noon. And I was just
nice.
No,
I liked it.
I was worried about her. And so then we started taking her, going on antiquing trips here, and we got her the junk drunk bug.
Oh boy.
Yes. And then one day we she messages me at like 8:30 in the morning from the Goodwill.
You're like, what?
From her house. And I'm like, what the hell is she doing up that early? And she's like, hey, how much do you think this is worth? And whatever. And she's like, I Googled this and blah. Can you believe I got this for 50 cents? And whatever. And I'm like, yes. So we opened a little store here.
Winning.
And so she is our business partner here at the store in town. And so we do this together, and it is so much fun.
It's so awesome, Nana. I mean, you've written books, but I mean, your book, I mean, it's just like, it's more than the budget of the U.S. government. I mean, you got so many chapters in it. I mean, you keep turning the page and there's a new chapter, a new chapter, a new chapter, and you reinvent yourself. And the thing is, I get it. You get in a rut and it's like, but then something comes along and you've got great people around you and it's like, nope, universe is going to make you do something different. Move along, stay active, stay doing the things you're doing because you have so much light to give. And so you got to put that light out there, and you got so much to share, and the universe will force you to do that. And so here you are, just sucks you back in, doesn't it?
And I put little Kaya in a sling, and we go to these auctions or estate sales, and then I just walk in the house with them, and they're like, "Oh, there's this crazy old lady again."
Right.
Well, and
let's not say anything to her. She's got a dog,
No, but she's inspired. Like, so there's a couple that owns the space where we rent like a whole storefront. So he's expanded. He's increased his store space by a third, and we rent that space, and then they manage it and do the taxes and the sales and all that stuff. But we have a whole storefront in there, and she's encouraged them so much because like she put in she found like an antique monthly magazine, and she created a business advertisement thing, and then she did that, and then he brings those magazines to the storefront, and now there's people coming from like the larger town, Fort Smith. They come now to Greenwood, and they're like, oh yeah, we saw your ad in this magazine, and so we're coming to Greenwood now to check out the whole store. And then she'll get on, she's a social media, like, so John Kim, you guys know him from Litecoin, whatever. He's like, his quote about Nana was that Nana tweets like a 40-year-old, and that she's always been just great. She's, great on social media, and she's very visual. She's always been great. Like when we were kids, she could see a color and we would go to the store and she could match the exact like shade and color.
Kind of idiot savant with colors.
Yes. And so she's always great, like visually and texture and spatially, with design and all that. And so
somebody needs to build a house near Nana so that she can help like visualize different things.
Yeah, something like that.
Interior decorate certain things.
Anyway. No, and our space looks beautiful. She goes in and like rearranges stuff and adds stuff. I didn't realize how fast. So our space has like the highest sales in our store every month since we opened. We have had the highest sales. I don't know. It's just,
but really, you've got a great team, and I'm going to go full A team here. I love it when a plan comes together, like Hannibal says,
No, it's been great.
and that's what it is, though. I mean, you've got good people around you, and we all kind of attract to each other, and we resonate. The frequency kind of connects us. And like you said, I think I need to kind of visit more because she's kind of in a rut. And, we kind of build each other up. And that's community, isn't it? That's family, community, same thing.
Yes. And then my brother and sister came, my brother and sister-in-law came, and my sister-in-law was saying today, she goes, Mom, looks good. She's like, did you notice like her shoulders are up better? So she used to be a physical therapist. And so she was noticing that Mom like looks stronger. And because she's moving around more and she's going to the store and she's,
carrying this little
chunk of munka. Yes. And she's doing these things and she's happy and she's interacting, and we're doing these things. And so like having community is so important. And it's important for all of us. Yeah. And I love doing life with my mom. Like it feeds my soul and my heart. And it's very healing for me. I am a very bad, yes. Okay,
you should buy that.
And here's the thing, like there's no accountability for me. I'm like, she's like, oh, look, this is beautiful and lovely. And I'm like, yes, buy it. Buy it for yourself and put it out somewhere. Yeah. I'm terrible. I'm a bad friend.
Oh, well.
Yes. And Westwood, I will also encourage your wife to buy things for herself. So just wait till I get to Westwood's.
Okay, I bought Bitcoin in 2015.
Okay.
I will also tell everyone else to buy Bitcoin and Litecoin. I'm also a bad friend. No, I'm a good friend. Buy all the beautiful things like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and beautiful glass.
Right.
See?
So
buy all the beautiful things.
Get that radium glass. There's a reason why they put it in glass. They stored that sunshine in the glass so you can soak up that sunshine, baby. Living on sunshine.
Buy a little
walking on sunshine.
Yeah. I think it's good for you.
And I don't know, Litecoin, I'm not sure when Litecoin came out. Bitcoin was 2009, right?
Litecoin was October 13th, 2011.
11.
About two and a half years after Bitcoin started getting mined. I think it was January 3rd.
2015, but Litecoin wasn't much later. It's 2016, I guess.
So what did you say, 2016?
2016 probably for Litecoin.
When you started looking at it?
You had been following Bix.
Because Bix and Click.
That was a good time. That was a good time to get it. I mean, it really was, because once it hit Coinbase, I think the opening price was like $4, and then next thing you know, it's $50 in a few months. Boom.
Yes, if only we could have kept all that we bought back then.
But it's to be a tool, and it was
exactly. There are things that, listen, I've got a meetup coming up in less than 2 weeks, and I'm like, man, I kind of want to do this and this because it's going to be. And I'm looking at it and thinking, maybe even though Litecoin's like $65, I don't care. I really don't, because my first Litecoin that I bought was like 2013. If you go back and look at the chart, that's when Max Kaiser actually pumped it. Believe it or not, Max Kaiser was into Litecoin back then. So anyway, I mean, it pumped. If you look at that old chart, it pumped up to like $50 Litecoin in 2013. And then it dumped down. But I bought Litecoin at the peak, $50. I bought like 10 of them. I'm like, oh yeah, makes sense. It's like buying silver. It makes sense. The ratio, it's absolutely ridiculous. Look what it does. And I held that on the paper wallet until like 2017. And then I pulled it out and I'm like, man, this thing's, what's it worth now? And once it broke even, I got rid of it. Bought silver. Imagine that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, did I make a mistake? And, and then I start looking at the whole crypto space and I'm like, yeah, I kind of did. And so that's when I really got into it. But I've been in it for a long time, but I never made money, But it was that, way back then is when I got into it. And when you get it, you get it, I guess is what it comes down to. And it takes time for all of us to kind of understand what the thing is. And then once you do, and it's like, how can you not be all in? I mean, what's your alternative? You gonna watch Jim Cramer and MSNBC every day and hope that, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, the stock, listen to Michael Saylor, buy, more Bitcoin than the U.S. government has. And it's just, I don't know. I like to, but anyway, I'm rambling a little bit of Westwood story.
Give us the ramble. Give us the Westwood ramble. I'm trying to think. I kind of talked. I always try to talk about some news at the beginning. Okay, there were a lot of good voting stuff. Some stuff.
Oklahoma. I saw Oklahoma. They threw out a bunch of ballots, like 100,000 of dead people. They took them off the rolls.
And Georgia and Texas.
They're taking them off. They're like, this is illegitimate. They can't vote. Get them off.
Georgia, Texas, Nevada, and Oklahoma. All of this. So this is all kind of happening, and it's happening over a weekend. So they don't, you may hear it, you may not hear it, but you're going to hear it here. This is Senator Langford. He's my neighbor.
People in Nevada voted more than once, according to your work in this. 42,000 people. 1,500 people voted in Nevada that were dead. 19,000 people voted, though they did not live in Nevada, and they weren't a college student.
This is the operation.
8,000 people voted from a non-existent address. 15,000 people voted, though they were registered to a commercial address or a vacant address. And 4,000 people voted in Nevada that are non-citizens. My question to you is, in my state, when someone votes twice, and we do have that occasionally, and about 50 times a year that actually occurs in our state, we prosecute individuals that vote twice. Of this 130,000 instances that you have identified from the 2020 election in Nevada, do you know of any prosecutions currently going on in Nevada for any voter fraud?
Not yet, Senator, and that's extremely important. These laws have to be enforced. We, of course, I represent.
Okay, let's move on because that's Nevada. Then there's, I just shared this with, there's a Texas one, and there is
Georgia, maybe even Michigan or Wisconsin, and that's coming, if not now.
There's multiple states that are throwing out, and we're going back to 2020, guys. We're not talking about like, hey, we're gonna.
Yeah, this is what has happened
in the past.
To select an illegitimate commander in whatever.
Yeah, shoot. Why am I not finding all the things?
Hey, did we find out who left the cocaine in the White House? I'm just curious.
No one cares.
No? Okay. Wondering.
Like, get free, do whatever you want to yourself, but like, let's stop trying to get people. Okay, Lisa.
There's Mike Johnson, the SAFE Act. Okay, did not Massey call that? Massey called that.
This is the Thomas Massey thing that I've been talking about this
week.
Totally
called that one, didn't he?
Who?
Thomas Massey totally called that because they did the continuing resolution, whatever it is, dropped the SAFE Act, just like he said, all theater. Here's your man.
Political theater. They're going to try to get you focused on the look over here, don't look over there.
Yep.
But it's all about funding so they've had multiple hearings showing you all the corruption at the CDC, the FDA, the IRS, the SEC.
All those neutralized Chevron 3-letter agencies, right?
But then we're going to have a big omnibus bill.
We got to keep the corporation going. We can't go bankrupt. Come on.
We'll pull out the SAFE Act so you guys feel good about you.
Now we can all vote for it. We can all have money, and we can all go home in October.
You don't have to eat your broccoli, but you have to eat everything else. And then guess what? You're going to pay your taxes, and we're going to go after you.
You're going to love it.
All of your own money. We're going to.
I sidetracked you. Keep going with that thought. Sorry.
I know, but this is part of it. But I really wanted to talk about the voting thing because there were more information about the voting thing. Oh, Nevada. So it was Nevada. Wait, I thought we talked about Nevada. Also, there was a Texas thing. Did I text it to you and not send it to you by? I must have texted to you instead of. Why can I not find it now? So there were several states. There was an Oklahoma thing. There was a Texas thing. And now I can't find any of it. So there's Oklahoma, Texas, and Georgia. Georgia said that they have to validate the votes by hand at this point now.
I saw that. You got to hand count it.
They have to
You gotta
hand
hand count the votes. Yeah.
And that's upcoming. But then going backwards, 2020, Texas, multiple states, I can't find it now. It's so annoying to me that I swear I share this stuff so I can.
I know.
And then
I should have.
It disappeared.
I should have done the Oklahoma thing. I was gonna like retweet it or something because that's all I use X for is like bookmarking stuff.
I know, but
okay, I'm gonna heart it because it's a light bookmark, but I'll retweet it for like a hardcore bookmark. That's kind of what I do.
Why can't I find it then? Once I do.
But yeah, Oklahoma, I just saw it yesterday to where they took a lot of people off the voting rolls because they were dead, because all kinds of different reasons, like for 500,000 people.
Yeah, and Texas took off 1 million people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard somebody
off of their rolls because they were dead and not valid and all that. So Oklahoma takes off 500,000. Texas takes off 1 million.
You know what's crazy? Oklahoma, every county in Oklahoma, if you look at the heat map, was red. Every county voted red in the last election. And now they're taking off 500,000 people roughly. I'm just, spilling it. But I mean, think about that. I mean, already it's like super conservative. And now you're taking off 500,000 more, which I guarantee weren't voting red because they're dead. I mean, come on,
Yeah, something doesn't smell right.
Nope. And, here's another thing. Let's get into this just a tad. You've got, I don't want to get in. I'm not degrading or begrudging any race, any culture that comes over here, but you've got a lot of Haitians that are coming in. There's been a lot of noise about that, the dogs, the cats, and all that, but it leads into other things. There's a lot of trafficking and a lot of manipulation of these people going on. If you look at, there's a town in Pennsylvania that's about 2,000 people along the river just south of Pittsburgh. I can't think of the name of it, but I mean, there's somebody there that's bringing people in.
With Transylvania?
What's that?
Does it rhyme with Transylvania?
Well, yeah, the vampires. You want to get into the vampires, I can get into that, but I don't want to do that. Vlad Tepes, Dracula putting heads on stakes, that kind of stuff to stop the invaders, to protect Europe and protect the culture, I guess. But you've got a situation now where you've got Border Patrol agents. The chief used to be the Border Patrol guy, in San Diego, saying, hey, I was told to stand down, basically. Let the people in. Let them come in. Biden and Harris administration, let them come in. And he said there were times to where I had to deploy all my officers to this BS mission, and there was nobody on the border. He said people were walking in. We have no idea how many people were walking in. Just walking in across the border. And what does that do? Not just the vote, if they can vote, but just the underlying culture, underlying job market, the underlying housing market, and how people can benefit. And you saw the results of that in Charleroi, I think it was, Pennsylvania, to where, and even Springfield, Ohio, to where you've got people benefiting from this trafficking. Basically, they're trafficking immigrants in and then putting them to work through contract agencies, and that person who owns the contracting agency, the staffing agency, pays them $12.50 an hour, but then he ends up making $20 an hour through the the food processing plant where there's 90% of the immigrants working and the local people can't find jobs because they've all been filled. And then this guy happens to own the staffing agency and 50 properties in the town that are just derelict. And then, the government pays him a bunch of money to house these people, 10 people in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a manipulation of the system. It's a complete corrupt deal. And it would not have happened, but it came at the top. At the top, you look at the Constitution, what's government responsible for? To protect the states from invasion.
Yeah, and that was part of the reason.
That's in the Constitution.
Priest was supportive because he.
So Mom wrote
Here
a
we
book,
are.
Plucked and Burned, and she actually had like death threats. They tried to run her off the road. They sent her threats, and they were telling her like, oh, we knew, they knew her dogs' names and where she walked them at night, and she was getting like TV interviews, news stories were picking up her book,
But
all of this.
But mostly not, because they were threatened. I had an editor come at a book fair and tell me that the book was too hot to handle. And then there was a poultry magazine publisher in Georgia that told me that when that he attends a lot of board meetings and meetings with these major poultry companies, and he said they're aware of they're aware of your book and all. Mostly,
it was kind of like a Erin Brockovich. Instead of the water, she was interviewing farmers about the poultry industry in Arkansas. And
absolutely being sold out, Tyson coming in, basically multinational corporations, coming in and putting people out of business.
Where like they would make them indentured servants, and they were selling off their family farms. They were taking loans on their family farms, but then they would have to buy the chickens and the feed and the whatever.
You do all the work, and we take all the profits.
Well, it was an adhesion contract. It was very one-sided. They had the producer had no control over the quality of birds, quality of feed, the amount of feed, when they delivered the feed. And if you got crosswise with a manager, then he's going to bring you chicks from a
bad cull,
a bad batch or something. I mean, there were just a lot of things. And then they would force you. They wouldn't bring you chicks and such. And here you have, $500,000 loan on the building or something, unless you upgrade it again. So you have to go to the bank and get another couple $100,000 loan. And, it was sort of like the company store owning you.
And then they brought in workers, and there were cases where, so these some of the barns were low because chickens are only this tall, and they made these workers crawl.
Not in my experience. That may be another story.
I thought this guy got electrocuted with the low fan and died.
Oh, that could have been.
And then they were hiding the death of that Mexican worker.
But it wasn't because of it was the way the equipment was structured or something.
Anyway,
but yeah,
it was bad.
Okay, yeah. At any rate,
there's lots of unethical things happening.
Right. So the big picture is what, though? I mean, I guess if you put a name on that, what is it? The corporatization of
fascism,
fascism. Yeah. I mean, government allowing it to happen and encouraging it and giving incentives to do it, working with business, big business, not just small business, because they put that out of business in COVID. I mean, because that's the goal. And because, you think about it. I see it right now. My wife goes back to work in retail. She's very good at what she does. I mean, she really is. I mean, she works with people very well. She knows how to manage. And the thing is, it is but you see people who come in, they don't have loyalty to a corporation. And so you get bad service. You get bad, product's not what it should be, because there's no skin in the game. Yeah, I get a paycheck, so we got to raise minimum wage so you get more money, incentivize people to go to work. But it's like, but if you're working for yourself, the owner's there. It's not some corporate entity. It's, again, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. I'm going to be on the clock. I don't give a crap. And the mentality that breaks down in that system is just, it's not healthy for the entire, forest, and if we had small businesses, that's really the key. I mean, the merchant class, that's what brought everybody up, and everybody talks about unions and extrapolate that onto, that's the working class. It's like, no, because you're hijacked, because the Teamsters now won't even name who they're, endorsing, because 58% of the Teamsters are for Trump. And they want to be for the Democrats, but they're like, well, if we say we're for Harris, then people are going to be pissed off in our union, so we're just not going to endorse anybody, which is unprecedented. But it's just that what they've done is corporatized everything. It's a corporatization. It's a big vampires at the top, pulling the strings like Geppetto and Pinocchio and all the, all us puppets. And that's what they've done. And that's what they've done with these farms. It's just like Walmart moving in. Oh, we're going to have low prices. It's going to be cheap. It'll put everybody out of business because the local businesses, people that care about this stuff and show up are gone. And then they raise the price.
But remember, Walmart used to be only American-made products.
Oh, yeah, they were proud, made in the USA symbol, and now it's made in God knows where in Asia.
Yeah, it's all China.
But that's what it is. That's what they do. They come in, just like these flowery speeches. We're going to lift everybody up. It's all about the people. It's all hope and joy. We're all going to be happy. And then, for like 6 months. And then once everybody's out of business, they raise the price and they got their own supply chains, and it's all about corporate profits every quarter. And, that's just what it is. Feed the vampire casino with the fake fiat money.
Yep.
So how do we fix it, Westwood?
How do you fix it? As I've always said, and this is a big generic moniker, exit the vampire casino. So now it comes down to, how do you exit the vampire casino? Okay.
The silver bullet.
What feeds the vampire casino? It's your energy and your compliance. If you get to the point to where you no longer comply and you find ways to not participate, where you find ways to make it difficult for the whole thing to run, and it's not fluid and seamless and, hey, okay, cool, my dollars work. No, you make them not work because they don't work, because they create them out of nothing. And once you understand that they're created out of nothing and they're just vampire casino chips, you say, you know what? I really don't want to play anymore. So what do? You build peer-to-peer networks and you use whatever tool that you need. Whatever values your energy. And we used the example earlier, 5 quarters in 1964 was $1.25. Now it's worth $28. I mean, you could have preserved your wealth in that way. And now you've got different ways to preserve your wealth. And it's not just preserving your wealth, it's voting with your money, voting with your energy. Okay, you might get paid in fiat dollars, but immediately my thinking is, not investment advice, my thinking is you take those fiat dollars and you use those for things that are going to last even when the government is not there, because it can't sustain itself. It's a house of cards. It will collapse. And it's a crazy avant-garde thing to say that it's going to collapse. But there's so many people that don't think it's going to collapse. They think it's sustainable. They think that my retirement's safe. They think that all the money is going to be okay. We've got $36 trillion in debt. That will never get paid back. The next president will never pay that back. And so what does that do to you? The more money they print, that's more money in circulation. And so that's going to drive the price of everything up. And it's going to rob you of your wealth. Hey, I got a 5% raise. Well, inflation's 10%. Well, you lost 5% of your energy that year. And that's really what it comes down to. And so you got to put your energy into something that you can hold in your hand that they can't steal. You've got to put your energy into something that has value, because what is sound money? It's something that exists when the government fails. Look at your Federal Reserve notes, because it has no value. It's not a silver certificate that you can redeem for an ounce of silver like you used to. They took all that out. There's nothing backing it up. What value does that have, that Federal Reserve note? Your faith? You believe in the magic trick? You believe it's going to be worth something? It's not worth anything, because we've seen it. We're paying 40% more for stuff at the store, at least, than, from now back to 2019. I mean, did your wages go up 40%? No, they didn't go up 40%. And so you realize you're getting robbed, and quit believing in the delusion, quit believing in the scam, and do something different. And what you're doing, Lisa, what you're doing, Dana, you've got to build, a reputation, relationship, find a new market outside of that. And if you don't do that, you're dependent. And you're still playing in the casino. Get out of that casino. And it will give you peace of mind. It will get you to the point where, because there are solid things out there, and those are the things you want to look for. You want to look for solid people. You want to look for solid money. You want to look for those things that have always had value. And those are the things that you want to hold your energy in. So I don't know. It's a longer game.
Yes, in my life are your friends, your family, your loved ones, your hard assets.
That's where it starts.
This is my sister-in-law, but my sister
Kimmy.
Kimmy. So
Yes.
I told her she had to come in and say hi before we get off.
I said I made my cameo appearance once at a time.
I love it.
Once a year or so, she has to jump in and say hi to everybody.
No, I love it. That's what it's all about, though. It's about those. It's about real stuff.
Oh, we're gonna go have dinner. I love you all. We'll see you at Westwood 2024.
10-4, good baby.
10-4. Love to you all. We'll see you guys later. See you on Spaces tonight, right, Westwood?
8:30. It's scheduled.
8:30.
Central Time.
Take care. Love you guys. Bye.